Hi Jumpstart friends, it's Miss Sophia and we are back for a brand new storybook this week. This week we are going to be reading Gilberto and the Wind. It's a brand new story about Gilberto, this little guy, and the wind. So friends, before we get into our reading introduction and our reading, we need to review our expectations that we do every single time we have a Jumpstart session. So those are making sure we're keeping our hands to ourselves, using inside voices, making sure we're using our walking feet, making good choices, respecting everyone, and still having the most fun we can have at Jumpstart. So friends, we are going to sing our expectation song together, and then you will be able to get into the reading intro. So friends, let's sing our song together. We keep our hands to ourselves, inside voices, walking feet, make good choices, respect everyone, and still have fun. Okay, friends, that was so great. Make sure we are thinking about our expectations when we are watching our videos. And now you will be able to go and read with Miss Naughty.
Hello, all my Jumpstart friends. So today we are starting a brand new book. We are starting to read Gilberto and the Wind. And today for our reading intro, we have a new prompt. So our prompt today is, today we will read about a boy who plays outside on a windy day. So I remember, my friends, if I go outside on a windy day, the wind is just pushing and pulling everything around. You see some leaves flying through the air. You see some other things flying through the air. And sometimes the wind makes a sound, so the wind can whisper. The wind can go whoosh through your ears, and you listen, and whisper means to speak softly. So, why don't we read with Miss Naughty today and read all about Gilberto and his adventure with the wind. See you next time, Jumpstart friends!
Hello everybody. So today we are going to be reading Gilberto and the Wind by Marie Hall Etz. Now Marie Hall Etz is the only name on this book. So she's the author and she's the illustrator. She's the author, which means that she wrote all the words, and she's the illustrator, which means that she drew all the pictures, like the one of Gilberto and the wind right here. Here we see Gilberto and a big hat called a sombrero. We see that he's holding onto his hat because the wind is pushing it away. So Gilberto and the Wind is about the relationship between Gilberto right here and his friend the Wind. I hear wind whispering at the door. Yoo-hoo, he whispers. Yoo-hoo. So I get my balloon and I run out to play. So we see the little white things here which represent the wind. The wind is calling Gilberto to come and play. At first, Wind is gentle and just floats my balloon in the air. But then, with a jerk, he grabs it away and carries it up to the top of a tree. Wind, oh wind, I say, blow it back to me, please. But the wind won't. He just laughs and whispers, yoo-hoo. So, we see the wind blowing Gilberto's balloon gently. And to be gentle means to do something soft and quietly. So we see the balloon moving very softly through the wind. And then over here with the big jerk, it's all on top of the tree because the wind was so strong. Wind loves to play with the wash on the line. He blows the pillow slips into balloons and shakes the sheets and twists the apron strings. And he pulls out the clothespins that he can. Then he tries on the clothes, though he knows they're too small. So here we see the clothespins, and clothespins are used to clip the hanging of the clothes on the lines. And we see the pillow slips being filled with the wind, looking like the balloon in the last picture. and we see the wind filling out the shirts and the blankets. And wind loves umbrellas. Once when I took one out in the rain, he tried to take it away from me. And when he couldn't, he broke it. We see Gilberto fiddling with the umbrella in the rain, and then the wind was just too strong and broke Gilberto's umbrella. If the gate in the pasture is left unlatched, the wind will plays with that too. He opens it up and bangs it shut, making it squeak and cry. Wind, oh wind, I say, and I go and climb on. Give me a ride. But with me on the gate, it's too heavy. Winds can't move it at all. So, the wind can move the gates. The wind can move the umbrella. The wind is strong enough to move the clothes, and it's strong enough to move the balloon. But the wind is just not strong enough to move Gilberto. When the grass is tall in the meadow, wind and I like to race. Wind runs ahead and comes back and starts over, but always wins, because he runs over the top of the grass and I have to run through it and touch the ground with my feet. So here we see Gilberto and the wind racing. The wind will always win because the wind does not have to run through the grass. It just runs over and brushes the air, while Gilberto has to be held back by the grass and the ground. When the big boys on the hill have kites to fly, wind helps them out. Wind carries the kites way up to the sky and all around. Here we see a kite, and a kite is a toy that flies in the air. And we see the wind helping out the kites from the other boys. But when I have a kite, wind won't fly it at all. He drops it. Wind, oh wind, I say, I don't like you today. We see Gilberto's kite, but we don't see the wind helping him fly it. We see Gilberto frustrated. He's frustrated, so he's angry because he's not able to fly his kite because of the wind. He can see anger in his face, the broken kite. He's not very happy. When the apples are ripe in the fall, I run to the wind pasture and wait under the tree. The wind always blows one down for me. So we see that the apples, when they are ripe and ready to eat, the wind helps Gilberto out by throwing them down for him. He doesn't have to climb up and get a ladder to get the apples because the wind does it for him. And when I have a boat with a paper sail, wind comes and sails it for me, just as he sails the big boats for the sailors on the sea. The wind also helps him out with his little sailboat here on the pond. When I have a pinwheel, wind comes and plays too. First I blow it myself to show him how. Then I blow it out or hold it up, and the wind blows it for me. And when he blows it, he turns it so fast that the whistles and sings, and all I can see is a blur. So we see Gilberto here starting to blow it himself. The pinwheel, which is a toy that spins with the wind. So he helps it out by blowing it himself. Then he holds it out, and then he holds it up and lets the wind blow it for him. So it's just a blur instead of seeing the actual pinwheel here. We see the blur because the wind blows it so fast. Wind likes my soap bubbles best of all. He can't make bubbles. I have to do that, but he carries them up into the air for me. Sun to color. Oh, he carries them way up in the air, sun to color. He blows some back and makes me laugh. They burst into my eyes and on the back of my hand. So we see Gilberto blowing the bubbles himself because the wind can't do that. But we see the wind carrying it through the air so the sun can make it glisten. When the leaves have fallen off the tree, I like to sweep them into a pile. But then wind comes along and just shows that he can sweep without a broom. Wind scatters the leaves all about again. He blows the dirt in my face. So we see Gilberto raking up the leaves, and he's probably frustrated again because the wind blows all his hard work into his face, and he has to do it again. Sometimes wind is so strong he starts breaking the trees and knocking down fences. When I'm afraid, I run into the house and lock the door. And when wind comes howling after me and tries to squeeze in through the keyhole, I tell him no. Sometimes the wind is too strong and scary. He becomes scared of it and has to hide from his friend the wind. But then comes a day when wind is all tired out. Wind, I whisper. Oh, wind, where are you? Shh, shh, answers wind, and he stirs one dry leaf to show where he is. So I lie down beside him, and we both go to sleep under the willow tree.